Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Another week, another episode. This is Stats Over Politics. If my computer wants to stop lagging, then maybe we'll actually be able to see us. Here we are, episode number 104 of Stats Over Politics. As always, I'm your host, Shaun alongside my guys, Mr. Kevin Dent, Jaevon Toddy, and Garry Singh. And we come to you on this Monday night on a bit of a somber note, everyone, as this is, in fact, Garry Singh's last episode as a regular host with us here on Stats Over Politics. Garry, how are we feeling?
We feeling great, man. I got my little drop the mic at the end, when Kobe moment, I guess we would say, or something like that. But just to start off, I love you guys, love this podcast. So let's kill it one more last time, guys. 104. Let's get it.
No, us and Garrett, we're not beefing, guys. We're not beefing.
No, we're not.
I can
No
Garrett
beef
off the chat. Garry was trying to beat Bobby Brown.
Hey man, Shannon had to get rid of Skip. You've been voted off the island, Garry.
It's crazy because I saw that Skip is leaving FS1 too. I saw that.
He is?
I mean, that shit hit the ground, bro. They had Lil Wayne on there, Paul Pierce.
That shit hit the ground. I haven't watched it in so long.
It's because his show is failing. But unlike Skip Bayless, it's all love with us and Garry, and it's time for him to move on, and we totally understand. And so we'll still have Garry on plenty of times in the future as a regular guest, but as far as him being a regular host, it's time to move on. But anyways, guys, we got a jam-packed episode for today's episode, a Garry-centric episode, if you may. But before we get to any of those topics, I do want to start out with USA men's basketball competing in the exhibition games before they're getting ready for the Olympics that are coming up. I guess at the end of this month is when the Olympics officially get started. And so it's coming up quick, but we've had 2 exhibition games thus far with Team USA men's basketball. The women will be playing an all-star game against the WNBA All-Stars. We'll get to that in about a week or so. But anyways, as far as the men's go, they competed thus far against Canada and Australia. They played against Canada on July 10th, and they won 86-72 in Las Vegas. Then today, they played in Abu Dhabi, and they beat Team Australia 98-92. Team USA still has 3 more exhibition games before the Olympics officially start. They'll play Serbia on Wednesday. They have South Sudan in London on July 20th, and then they're also going to play Germany in London on July 22nd. So, Garry, I'm going to kick things off with you because this seems like it's going to be the last Olympics for your GOAT, LeBron James. And just how are we feeling overall about this Olympic team?
Overall, I mean, so far they've been handling business. You know, usually past USA basketball teams with this much caliber of talent usually demolish the floor, to be honest with you guys. Usually it's like win by 20 or 40. Obviously, the last 2 games kind of been close towards the end, I guess. The first one wasn't really close at all. It just let the score look close, but they were pretty much dominant the whole way through. This one, they had a little spark at the end, but I think Vaughn mentioned that I didn't watch the game, but me just watching the highlights and looking at the box score just real quick. You know, Tyrese Halliburton hitting 2 threes to go up and seal the deal is really cool to see. This game, they switched up the lineup, obviously, adding Edwards and Jason Tatum to the starting lineup this time. And you see who's been averaging pretty much the most minutes, really, has been Edwards. You know, everyone joking around with him saying the number 1 option. I think that was like tongue-in-cheek, him messing around. But as we're seeing, he's the youngest buck who's the most fiery and probably has, quote-unquote, the most approval on his team, maybe, if you could think about it. And so I love how you see he's grabbing the bull by his horn. He's really just taking advantage of the opportunity. And, you know, the old guys already established and have gold medals, most of them under their belt. So them just basically giving him the reins to, you know, take over in moments and make the shots that are just comfortable with him. Everyone's, you could tell, like, these box scores ain't used to regular box scores from these type of players. I know that I think the minutes per quarter, I'm pretty sure, are down because, you know, it's a pretty low-scoring game. But they're sharing the rock, man. You can tell from everyone. Everyone's having about 6 to 8 shots, the starter-wise. And so, you know, they didn't play Derek White. Obviously, KD's out right now and stuff like that. And Shaun mentioned these are just the prelim games, and they're going to be heading to Paris here soon to probably play a few more prelim games and then get the real battle started here. But like LeBron said today, is gold or nothing, and that's pretty much why I think they're gonna win. They're gonna pretty much win gold. I feel like, but you can bet your bank on it. That should be on Bonds, the little hotline for the rest of the year. Whatever he sees with the USA, I'm pretty sure. Then I don't know if they covered today, Ron. Did they cover? I don't know what the line was. They probably didn't.
No, they didn't cover today.
Was this really 1.5?
That was way too. That was way too.
It was 20.
I think it was 1.5.
Yeah, hopefully they start getting it more right because they probably are going to be some little bit close again. But then again, you got these teams. Obviously, we always mentioned played before previously. They're more, I guess, continuity built, and this is their second game. This whole team ever playing together ever. But you got so much talent and so many good players on this team. It's hard not to just see it work, man. Just you go through the names, just all-star after potential Hall of Famer after potential Hall of Famer. So I think the USA men's basketball team is going to be just right. It's going to be easy breezy, really. Even though we're going to play a couple tough players here like Joker and maybe Giannis, I think is still in the tournament, right? And so we got some other guys and other teams with Germany with Shooter. I know I'm saying Shooter, but hey, they won last year. So in Canada, like we just played, got some dogs with SGA and Jamal Murray on that team. So there's a lot of good guys, and the French too. We got Wembanyama, and you also got obviously Rudy Gobert. So there's going to be some talented guys we play across with a few NBA guys, but no one can say they got all 12 pretty much NBA guys, and no one can say they got pretty much all Hall of Famers on their team. So I think they're going to win. Maybe not as dominant as back then, just because it's pretty hard to probably dominate them, any team that all in all. But then again, because these are professionals they're playing, but I think USA men's basketball is going to be just right, and ain't no sweat on my side. I think we're going to win easy breezy, and yeah, I need to get me a jersey, a USA jersey, to be honest with you. I went to the Nike store, Brad, this week in SF. They ain't got the USA basketball stuff out yet. I'm like, y'all slacking, man.
The website sold out in like 20 minutes. I tried.
Oh, the website had it? Yeesh. Hopefully I need to get something in the store, kid, because that USA gear is dope. So let me get that.
I have one USA basketball jersey, and it's a DeMarcus Cousins USA basketball jersey.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I got a Dream Team Mike one.
Ooh.
That's even better.
Got a Penny Hardaway.
Ooh, okay. Gary, are
Coming out
you the
with
only
heat.
one without Gary? Are you the only one without a USA basketball jersey? You're not patriotic?
No, I don't have a jersey. No. That's clean though. Ooh, wait, that is clean. Can you wear that or no? I wouldn't even wear
Hell
that.
nah.
No, so I don't even wear. I wouldn't
in
even
the
wear
closet.
that. Exactly. That's crazy. I got so many jerseys I don't even touch them. So down.
For our audio-only listeners, as Kevin shows off his amazing Michael Jordan USA jersey.
You know what USA thing I do got, Shaun? You can guess. I got a USA basketball shirt though. Guess who?
Yeah.
Say him.
Yeah.
Not tied with
Only
only Carolina blue in my house.
I mean, a
Dang,
LeBron
Dang,
USA
I didn't know.
basketball
Kid was a Jordan fan.
I'm not. It's
Jersey
a classic.
guy.
You had to get it. It's a classic.
Yeah,
The
Shaun, that's your question. I got
LeBronologist
bronze.
that's getting exposed.
I got bronze. I got a bronze shirt. It's faded. Totally faded. Things all gone. I'm still keeping it though.
Kevin's like, damn it, can I just appreciate greatness from both eras? As I just want to get to a couple of YouTube comments here. As Dad Dent says, Team USA is number one on every country's list, of course, as they should be. And I mean, we're not too hyped talking about Team USA right now because like they handled business. They might not have handled business when it comes to the spread as far as Jaevon is concerned, but they are winning the games, and that's the biggest thing because as we've seen in the past, whether it be the World Games or in the FIBA games or the actual Olympics, like if Team USA loses an exhibition game like they did in Nigeria a couple of years ago, it's a massive deal. But when they win, it's kind of just like, yeah, they're taking care of business as expected. And Uncle Manny says, have an amazing show. We appreciate you, Uncle Manny. Kevin, did you want to jump in the
Did
conversation?
we talk about the Nigeria game when Ike was on? Because Ike was on that team.
I think we did.
Almost like he was on that team.
We must have had to. Otherwise, we all.
But we probably talked about it.
If we did, I feel like we did. That was like a year and a half ago. But like, I feel like we did. If not, it was a big swing and miss from all of us.
Bring back
But
Ike.
I'm just gonna have faith that we did. But anyways, Jaevon, now getting to you next. Just how do you feel about this Team USA? Because we've talked about the members of it before with Stephen Curry, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Drew Holiday, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, and Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo. The one change has been the fact that Kawhi Leonard had to withdraw on July 10th. He got replaced by Derek White of the Boston Celtics instead of the Finals MVP of the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown. The coaches on the staff are Steve Kerr with assistants Eric Spoelstra, Tyronn Lue, Mark Few from Gonzaga. So, Toddy, it's obviously stacked, but for you as a Celtics fan, how did you feel when Derek White was the replacement for Kawhi rather than JB, the Finals MVP? And, sorry, didn't mean to leave you hanging there, but also Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I feel like that's also important.
Hey, man, he don't ever win shit, remember? But his words from his mouth to God.
First off, yes, Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP, champion Jaylen Brown, champion Derek White, and champion Jason Tatum. I thought it was a little weird, kind of looking at it. Just based off the way that Jaylen Brown played the entire playoffs, I was a little confused on when Kawhi dropped out. I was never really convinced that Kawhi was going to play, even though they announced that he was going to play. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm out. And I'm like, okay, well, there's Kyrie. I was like, I'm just thinking about guys listening. I was like, there's Kyrie, there's Derek White. I'm like, there's Jaylen Brown. And I was like, well, Jaylen Brown should probably get it because he just won Finals MVP, just won the championship. Averaged over 20 points in the finals. Like it would make sense, right? But I get it, but I don't get it at the same time because I'm looking at the line. I'm just looking at the team already. You got Kevin Durant, you got Devin Booker, you got LeBron James, Steph Curry. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint as they need another guy that's just going to just defend, block shots. So I kind of see it from that point, but I'm like, Jaylen Brown can do that too. Like
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Jaylen Brown guarded Luka Doncic pretty much the entire finals. He's you could hear him mic'd up saying, "Hey, whenever Luka comes out, take me out." And we're up like double-digit points in the fourth quarter in Game 5. So it's not like Jaylen Brown can't do the job. I'm just a little puzzled on why it wasn't him. Obviously, he was. We know with the eyeball emojis or the whatever emoji you want to call that. The curious emojis is what we'll probably lean towards. But yeah, it was. I think it left a couple of people pretty shocked. Kevin was the guy who absolutely pointed it out to me. He's always sending me stuff pertaining to the Niners or the Celtics or Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ayuk simultaneously throughout the day. So, yeah, I was a little, shocked. I would understand his frustration on why he wasn't selected for Team USA. I'm trying to think, was Jaylen Brown ever on? No, I don't think he was on like a Team USA team exhibition-wise. No, that was obviously Jason Tatum.
Was he ever on the youth teams? I don't know.
Or something like that. But yeah, like Kevin said, he doesn't win anything. Even when he wins Finals MVP, Jason Tatum's getting all the press. As Kevin's probably
2K cover, he gets to go on the dream team.
But as far as the men's basketball team, I think Steve Kerr is just playing with lineups. Like you could start, like you could put how lineups together with this team and be like, all right, yeah, go ahead. Like today, and Jason Tatum started. I believe
those are only 2 positions they're moving now. 3 of them are locked in, Vaughn.
Yeah, so I believe the first game was Steph, LeBron,
Embiid.
Holiday started, Embiid, and Devin Booker. So you're kind of looking at it from like how, and even the coaching lineup is Tyronn Lue, Mark Few, as Shaun already mentioned, and you got freaking Eric Spoelstra. Like these are Hall of Fame coaches on the staff. Like it's literally down from the coaches, from the players to the staff, and probably the equipment managers and all the way, so on and so forth. They're probably just getting the best of the best type of guys. So I get today that they did not cover the spread as I was contemplating on gambling my college football money on this game. But the first game,
but you did it. But you didn't, right? You did it.
I did not.
Okay.
I did
Okay.
not.
Thank God.
But the first game, it kind of took them a little bit for them to get their bearings underneath them. There's so many turnovers in that game. Very lackluster, I'd say, in the game against Canada. Kind of took them a little bit for them to find their stride. I feel like Anthony Edwards off the bench was a big spark for them off of the bench. which may or may not have been the reason why he was thrust in the starting lineup today. I believe I said on last week's podcast that Anthony Edwards should probably start, and Kevin thought it was the craziest thing in the world. And he was starting today. So there's just so many lineups that you could put this team together. Like you could have Steph, like you could have the lineup that you had today. You could have Anthony Davis in the lineup. And guys, let's all kind of get back. Kevin Durant hasn't even played yet. And it's like you add Kevin Durant to this team, it's going to be like, okay, like how are we not losing by 30 points? That's kind of what it's going to come down to. And when you start to look at these games that USA is favored in, or like their first game, I think it's I don't know who it is that they play first. Sudan, I think it is. Sudan they play first. Favored by like 27.5 points. So they're kind of thinking of it as, you know, Kevin or Shaun has the alarm go off. Says, you're talking too much. But I just think it's going to be hard to like come close with one of these teams. I feel like the only team that would have maybe given them problems was Canada, and they blew Canada out. So
yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And before we get Kevin's thoughts on this, I just wanted to also do a small preview, even though we have time before the Olympics officially start, as far as the group stage round for men's basketball starts on July 27th. And I honestly think that Team USA got a pretty good draw, because if you look at Group A, it has Australia, the team that Team USA just beat today by 6 points, less than double digits. Australia plays Spain in the opening game. As we know, Team USA has had trouble with Spain in the past, even if the Gasol brothers are now retired. Then you got Greece, obviously, Team Giannis, versus Canada with Jamal Murray and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Also, Garry, shame on you. You forgot to mention the most important Canadian, Trey Lyles. No, Trey Lyles, Sacramento Kings. But that's Group A, where you have like a bunch of heavy hitters. Then you got Germany in Group B versus Japan. I mean, yeah, Germany's led by Dennis Schroeder. Japan, they have Rui Hachimura, I guess. And then you look at France, obviously, Wemby, Gobert, Koulibaly. And then they also play.
Shai on that team?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not sure.
No.
So don't.
None of the young guys are in it. The young guys that are in the draft now, they all prioritize basketball. But Risha Shea was the only one that was invited.
Okay. Well, at least he was invited. And thank you, Kevin, for noting that. Yeah, Summer League over the Olympics.
The Hawks said, nah, bro, you got to come.
Yeah, exactly. It's condition of being drafted number one.
Question, you guys, do you think they get paid for the Olympics?
No.
No.
Players?
Yeah.
No.
All that's that question. I was like, I mean, shit, really? Even like
all for your country. That's why Kawhi poured his ass out.
They got to do something though. Like you getting LeBron James to spend.
I mean, you probably get some endorsement deals or something like that.
I think there's some probably endorsement deal like on the back end, but not like USA Basketball is not paying the players.
Yeah, USA Basketball
is
crazy
to think. Yeah, because I never thought of it like that.
That's why they took Kawhi out. Like, hold on, we the one paying you, bro.
Kawhi said, "How much? I'm not getting paid." All right, yeah, go ahead, y'all. Come on.
I would imagine
it's public knowledge.
I would imagine that it's basically they pay for your travel everywhere, hotels, food, maybe give you some merch, Team USA merch, like to wear warm-up gear to and from the games, all that, wear sweats. But other than that, you're doing your service for your country. Thank you. But finally, just to look at Group C, which starts on July 28th, so Team USA actually starts on day 2, is you got South Sudan. I can't tell you. There's probably an NBA player on that team, but I can't tell you off the top of my head. Versus Puerto Rico, which is the Fighting Jose Alvarados. And then you got Serbia versus Team USA. Obviously, Serbia has Nikola Jokic, Bogdan Bogdanovic. So that's a challenging first game for Team USA. But I would much rather have Team USA start in a group like Group C, where you really only have to worry about Serbia, compared to if you were in Group A, you have to worry about Australia, Greece, Canada, everyone. And so, Kevin, I really like the grouping that Team USA has gotten. But before we get to the Olympics, obviously, what have you thought of their first 2 games?
Well, one thing I think Garry might have mentioned in his opening monologue, the Tyrese Halliburton show. Me and Toddy were talking about, like, who doesn't play on this team? And the first name everyone throws out is Tyrese Halliburton. And like Toddy mentioned,
Casuals.
Coach Kerr is just, I mean, not casual. You got to look at the other guards on the list. Like, he's
casuals.
Is he better than Drew?
Well-rounded, yes.
Is he better than Steph?
No.
Is he better than Anthony Edwards?
I don't think it's about them being better. I feel like it's fit.
Okay, so just to play that game, Kevin, real quickly, honestly, and maybe this is my bias pouring out from Tyrese being a Kings draft pick, but I'm only taking Steph and Anthony Edwards before I'm taking Tyrese Halliburton. I'm even taking him ahead of Devin Booker. And maybe that's just me, but yeah, Toddy, I'm taking him over Devin Booker.
Clip this. This is a clip right here.
Clip it. Hey, man. Devin Booker or Tyrese Halliburton, who would you rather want to run your team? I'm taking Tyrese Halliburton.
Pre-All-Star break?
Pre-All-Star
break, I'm right there with you, brother. That's 25-11. I'm right there.
Okay, but he got hurt. He got hurt. So are you asking me, would I rather have an injured Tyrese Halliburton or Devin Booker? Like, yeah. But Devin Booker battled through injuries throughout this season too, though. So like,
the worst player on this team is who? Derek White.
Well, yeah, but okay, let's not name the guy who just got added. Like, if we have to look at everyone except for the guy who
he's not even the worst player. It's just obviously, but he would know too. His resume is nowhere built to no one else is here. Everyone else is a superstar.
If we're really talking worst player other than the guy that just got added, and this is obviously the best players in the world all on one team. Well, yeah, but Derek White just got
you don't
added.
want to count him. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying if we're talking about
give him a break.
Yes. Okay, we'll give him a break. But okay, yeah, the OG roster, right? I would say that the worst player, and obviously this is an embarrassment of riches, but it's probably either Drew Holiday or Bam Adebayo. And I mean, am I wrong?
I'd say Bam. If we're not saying Tyrese, I'd say Bam. Bam's definitely the second worst player.
And these are also players.
Hold on, but
well,
Kevin,
they're all-stars on their team. They don't play on a team like this for 82 games. They play on a team like this for 82 games. We'd be like, Bam, who? Six-man of the war, Bam?
I did notice you said besides Tyrese. So does that mean that obviously besides Derek White, you think that Tyrese Halliburton is
the worst? Because I mentioned, I know Garry had mentioned we're sticking with the original team. If we're doing today's team, Derek White is the worst player on the team.
Yeah, yes. But other than Derek White, you say Tyrese Halliburton?
Nah, I had to go to Drew Holiday.
For me, it's Drew Holiday.
I go Bam, but I'm not saying Bam's bad at basketball. But when you compare Bam to the other dudes he shares the front court with, it's like that's why I wouldn't take Tyrese, because when you put him in that guard mix, because last week when Toddy asked who was going to start, they're not going by positions. They're just putting fives together. So it's guards, forwards, and centers. Those are the only three groups. So when you put them all in that group, yeah, you can probably put Tyrese over Drew, but Tyrese is down there.
Do you see that when they asked how tall Kevin Durant was, and he was like, "I'm 6'9".
I don't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, and he's taller than Bam, taller than Anthony Davis.
Exactly. But it's funny because if you go to NBA.com, it says KD 6'10".
So, I don't know why he doesn't want to be 7 feet.
Well, I mean, because pictures like this really expose those kind of things.
Because for sure, I'm about to say, they were talking about Tatum today too. I seen Tatum is easy 6'10" himself, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like he's a big body too.
There's gonna be some dumb coach who tries to put KD down at center and just be like, "You're a 7-footer. Just make it work. Just go in the post. You don't got to use power. Use finesse." But Kevin, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off getting into that Tyrese Halliburton tangent. But did you have any other thoughts you wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, we saw down the stretch. You know, we would never think in our lifetime that there's a team with LeBron James and Steph Curry, and there's 2 minutes on the clock in an 8-point game, and they're on the bench. You would never in the world ever think we'd see that. And for them to let those young guys just go out there and rock, it's a really good thing. Australia came out and played their ass off. You know, I missed the first half, but so I caught up after one of my meetings at work, and it was a 4 or 5 point game. Like, it was up to like 21-25, so I don't know what happened in between that. But Australia's no joke. You know, Patty Mills, man. Patty Mills is that typical Olympic player. In the NBA, you don't really look for him too much. You know, he's just another guy. But on his Olympic team, he's Kyrie Irving. He's getting them up. He's shooting the ball all the time. He's telling all these dudes sprint the lane. We're seeing all dudes play out of character because now they're playing in different roles. And in the Canada game, I think we got down 11-1, and then we just saw this team started clicking. What everyone needs to take with a grain of salt, a lot of these teams, besides probably Canada and the USA, have been playing with each other for years on years on years. These guys got together, 11 days before the exhibition game and said, let's roll it out and see what we can do. So, yeah, we look ugly. You can say we're rusty. You can say A, B, C, and D, but they're compared to the team that we've seen Luka play in FIBA every time he can. Just the camaraderie that they have for their country, it's a different kind of pride. So to see that kind of camaraderie that they have, and then you compare it to the USA, like, you have so much talent. At some point, it's going to click. But in the very beginning of the dog days, you just got to give it time to work. They have all the greatest minds in the world. There's no way this doesn't work. So I'm with LeBron. It's gold or nothing. So this is his last Olympics. You got to go out swinging.
He certainly does. Everyone does. And as Kevin's dad mentioned earlier, it's Team USA versus the world, quite literally. And as far as these exhibition games go, July 17th being on Wednesday is what most intrigues me, because Serbia is in Team USA's group. To me, they're their only challenge before they get into the quarterfinals. And so I'm really interested to see Wednesday's game. Then, I mean, we'll just wait for the Olympics, because as entertaining as it may be, I probably won't be tuned in for those last two games in London between or against South Sudan and Germany. Maybe the Germany game, but Team USA.
This time might be crazy, man, too. What time was today's game on?
9
a.m.
Exactly.
But it's going to start being crazy, though, once they get to Paris, because once they get to Paris, they're 8 hours ahead. So that's when it's the 3 in the morning pods, 4 or 5 in the morning games, and,
live pod.
A live reaction pod at 4 in the morning. Could you imagine? Like this.
That's what's crazy. These going to be tough to watch. Hopefully they have the main games during good time for us.
Yeah, Toddy, were you going to say something?
Oh, where was the game at?
The USA people.
Today it was in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi is right.
Yeah.
You seen You seen the Steph with that Falcon on his wrist?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, he took that shit he took it so quick. He was like, "Sure, put this on my arm."
But imagine if the Falcon had, I think it had his eyes covered. Imagine if the hit shit, it just someone just said, "Deek, take it off." I don't know what it would have done. Oh,
wild, absolutely wild. Well, we will continue to cover the USA men and women's basketball teams throughout their exhibition run and the Olympics that are coming up very quickly. But Kevin, go ahead.
So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this. It's completely not related to any subjects. So Alyssa's fantasy league is doing the Olympics, and you get to pick a country and see who gets the most gold medals. That shit, I thought that was the most creative thing I've ever think to figure out a draft order. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that, because a lot of my guys in my league are like, well, if I don't get USA, we ain't gonna win. So if you guys had to guess who would come in second or third place in the Olympics in general, every
Germany,
China.
I'd probably go China, because Alyssa had the second pick, and I was like, babe, go China.
I think China usually gets close to it. I remember, they always have the counter on the bottom. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I'm pretty sure in every sport they have a little counter at the bottom left. They used to have it. I don't know if they have it now. But it used to be all the medals that each person, every country is leading in gold, bronze, and silver. Opposite, but I'll take China. I heard China. Yeah, they got a lot of good people and a lot of good sports.
If it's not USA, the second team I hear the most, or the country, is China.
Japan.
How about Germany? I would throw Germany up in there. I would say Germany is probably third. And Russia used to be up in there, but they're not in the Olympics this year because they've been cheating. But is that? But it is the summer.
Russia's not in the Olympics.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Russia is technically in the Olympics because they've been doping and cheating. And so there might be individual Russian athletes, but there is not a Russian organization in the Olympics.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. Makes
Look
sense.
it up. Could be wrong.
Vladimir Sip. Oh,
yeah. So we will continue to cover the Olympics here on Stats Over Politics, episode number 104. As now we're moving on to one of our recurring segments. Kevin, give it a whirl.
So as we all notice, the two guys on our direct or my direct left were not here last week, so we did not get to talk the DeMar DeRozan news. So I figured there's no better way to bring it in because James, Ty, and I kind of went on a tangent on guys we would take over DeMar and what DeMar was going to bring to us. So I figured there's no better way to figure this out, get down to the nitty gritty than a this or that DeMar DeRozan edition. So just to recap how we do it, I'm going to say a name, and you guys tell me either you're taking this person or DeMar DeRozan. So first name, Julius Randle.
Julius Randle.
Man, Julius is really young though, so it's not even fair, like the comp wise.
Yeah,
but
I would.
I'm gonna take
Julius
DeMar because he's more clutch, and I was probably about to say.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I'll take Julius Randle just because of age and
Both
he'd
all-star
probably be-
caliber players, yeah.
Are we in Kevin? Let me ask this as a
Better
as a
assist guy, DeMar.
clarifier. Are we thinking of just better overall player
Or right now?
better
Better
fit for
overall
the
player.
Kings, better fit for the Kings, or just
in
overall
general,
player?
just no,
Okay.
not King Stitch, just in general. So
All
I'm
right,
gonna
yeah,
Who's a better player now? DeMar.
I'll take. Yeah, right now, DeMar.
I'm gonna take Julius. I'm gonna stick on the tidy bus and go with Julius Randle. Next name, Mikal Bridges.
DeMar. We're talking better player right now, DeMar. Mikal Bridges was like a flash in the pan. I love him.
I go
It's the
DeMar.
shooting though that puts him over the top for me. I'm probably going Mikal.
DeMar got what 24 points per game last year. Sticking to that, like a 6 assist thing.
Tidy stuck.
I'm gonna
It's
say
hard because he's a young
DeMar
buck.
just because of
Mikal's
his
a young buck,
consistency
probably.
throughout his career, what he's been on multiple teams.
Defensively,
He's been a 20-point per game scorer on multiple teams, multiple All NBAs, multiple All Stars. Mikal is young, yes. Like Shaun said, I think that was kind of a little bit of a backhanded compliment. The flash in the pan that we saw with him in Brooklyn. He's shown some promise, but I mean, he's never been an all-star. I mean, that's a fact. Would like to see more on the offensive side from him. So with that being said, I would probably go DeMar.
Next name, the fellow Finney, Lauri Markkanen.
Oh, Lowry Markkanen.
Yes.
Markkanen.
I think we're all
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
we gotta take
Lauri.
Lauri Markkanen right now. He's in his prime, young
Next
all star,
for the Finney. Next one,
all star.
Pascal Siakam.
Ugh. Pascal, give me Pascal. He went nuts in the playoffs. He was
Yeah,
damn
I'm
near
going
carrying that
Pascal.
Pacers team.
Yeah, you gotta go Pascal too. He's a little more, just more young right now. In a better spot, just young. Really, that's really what it is.
I'm going to say DeMar. I'll take DeMar over Pascal Siakam. Pascal's a really good scorer. He's champion, all-star. So, I mean, he's shown a lot in the playoffs. I think DeMar hasn't – I mean, I'm just going to go off of what I've seen from him, just multiple teams. I'm going to be consistent and say I've seen him play on multiple teams, average 20 points per game on multiple teams, multiple All-NBAs, multiple All-Stars. Have not seen him win a championship. Now, Pascal did win a championship.
Not yet.
By Leonard, but yeah, as Gary alludes to that. But I'm going to say DeMar.
Next one, Jalen Williams, J-Dub.
Oh, we gotta take Jalen Williams. I love DeMar DeRozan, but Jalen Williams just damn near about to be a superstar next year in his prime right now, literally. So
Probably say with
Tough.
Gary. Gary's going
yeah,
off.
kind of similar in a way.
Um,
It's laying good.
will Jalen Williams have the career that DeMar DeRozan has? I don't know.
Tough to say that. DeMar DeRozan had a great career.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan's had definitely a great
You
career.
can still add more to that.
Yeah, like J-Dub is. You're projecting so early off of his first year.
2 years, first 2 years.
Yeah, first 2 years. I probably would say J-Dub. Upside.
DeMar DeRozan was a head dog though of his team for quite a while. Remember that.
Next
We're
one,
not coming now though.
I'll say J-Dub just because he's basically the reason why the Thunder felt like they should trade Josh Giddey is because they believe in J-Dub so much.
next name, Desmond Bane.
Ooh, DeMar DeRozan.
Flash in the pan, Shaun?
Not even.
Not even a flash.
Not even. Not even. He was.
Just
he
that
rode
first
Ja,
put the butter on it.
he rode Ja Morant's coattails.
He got hurt. So, but
I'm
I'll
going to
say
go DeMar.
Yeah, I'm going to say DeMar DeRozan.
Gary, what you thinking?
Who's the last person I didn't hear? My bad. Sorry.
Desmond Bain.
Oh no, DeMar DeRozan.
Next one, Brandon Ingram.
Desmond Bain is a sharpshooter though.
I know what Kevin's answer is. I'm going to say DeMar.
It's actually same as that, people. But I think I like DeMar just right now for this one season, just a little bit better at the moment.
I'm going Brandon Ingram.
Give me DeMar's future teammate, Brandon Ingram.
There you go.
Is he
Next
playing?
name, DeJounte Murray.
I like DeJounte. I like him.
No, I gotta take DeMar DeRozan right now.
I mean, they both really can't shoot.
They're kind of the same.
DeMar got butter from
DeJounte is like a younger DeMar.
Yeah,
I'd probably go DeJounte.
I'll take
DeJounte's smaller point.
I like DeJounte.
DeJounte on the defensive end is pretty good too, man.
Yeah,
Exactly, Gary. DeJounte still has the legs to play defense.
he's also a mini magician.
Yeah, I thought Kev was supposed to add vet on vet, man. Not vet
I
on
gotta keep
young.
it, gotta mix it up. But this next one, Patty knows where I'm going. Chris Middleton.
Wow.
I gotta take DeMar DeRozan at the moment. Chris Middleton, he's just been injured the last
Y'all
few
gotta
years.
respect
I'm to
what
see
Chris
it
Middleton
again.
did in the finals.
I think
I'm
he's
taking
come back
Chris
for
Middleton.
vengeance.
Money
I think the
Middleton.
Bucks has come back for vengeance, y'all. Mark my words. Just FYI, remember that.
Money Middleton.
And that will do it for. Oh, Shaun, did you give us your name?
I said DeMar.
DeMar?
And I said DeMar, but hey, man, respect Money Middleton though, from Texas A&M.
Toddy thought it was crazy for saying I'd rather a healthy Chris Middleton than DeMar DeRozan on the Kings.
Hey, who remembers when Kendrick Perkins was saying that Chris Middleton was the Batman and Giannis was the Robin? Good times.
But he only said that because down the line, Giannis wasn't closing games.
I'm not gonna lie, that playoff run, he was big clutch every game. Clutch.
It wasn't a crazy thing to say until the 55 piece. Then it was like, all right.
Hey, Shaun, I'll do you one better. Remember when? Because we were talking. You guys weren't here last week. We were talking about what was the guy's name that was talking about De'Aaron and Ja Morant when they were doing the comparison?
Oh, Amin Al-Hassan.
Yeah, he was saying we were talking about that last week on how they were saying, would you I think he said like Kings fans or what? Who
He said Ja Morant is what we
Yeah.
thought we would get with De'Aaron Fox.
Yes.
Yeah, Ja Morant is who De'Aaron Fox thinks he is what Amin said. So yeah, slanderous. Yeah, slanderous of the Dingler. Anyways, as we keep things moving here on episode number 104 of Stats Over Politics, Shaun Holko alongside Garry Sig, Jaevon Toddy, Kevin Dent. Guys, we got two final recurring segments before we get Gary's final send-off. But let's get to my favorite recurring segment, and that is Shaun's Pop Quiz.
Oh my God.
And everyone,
Gary, if you don't get all these right,
edition.
Bro, if you don't get all these right, you got to take off the shirt and hat and just go.
So
I'm a little rusty on my knowledge right now.
Well, for our audio-only listeners, Garry is dripped out in black and yellow today. I told him before we started that he looks like a bumblebee because he's got that black hat with the yellow trim and the yellow shirt with the black trim. So, Garry, it's time for Steelers edition, but let's hear from Kevin first.
I'm sure you're going to get into this, so I'm sorry for raising my hand early. Are we going to give Kevin Gary's points, or is Cotty just going to have a 7-point lead on?
I knew this was going to come up.
He vacates it.
Yeah,
Nobody gets it.
That's not fair because I have, 3 points to your 10?
I'll throw it up.
So just to read off the scores of Shaun's Pop Quiz Season 2, as we know, Kevin is the reigning defending undisputed champion. But the scores for Season 2 thus far is Toddy and Garry are tied for first with 12, and Kevin has 6. And guys, I think we might have to just end Season 2 after today, and then we can start anew with Season 3. So Garry has a chance to win Season 2 if he can nail.
Leave with the belt.
All my points go to Garry. As long as Cotty doesn't win, all my points go to Garry.
Straight up.
Straight up.
So I have.
Leave with the belt no matter what.
And as Uncle Manny says, Garry should have watched the WNBA. Thankfully for him this week, the Shaun's Pop Quiz is about the Steelers rather than the WNBA. And Garry, as our departing host, I will give you the question first. And
I'm
these
nervous.
questions are going to be about individual players. Obviously, it's Steelers edition. So I'm just looking for a name of a player, and each person, Kevin, I will say this real quickly, is that each person will get one guess for a player. I'll tell you if it's right or wrong, then it'll move to the other two guys to try and steal. And any other questions before we get started?
How recent it is? Is this like?
How about you asking the old
I'm about to
guy?
say, yeah,
In football season, I get
How recent
revamped
is
a little
this?
bit.
Well, you don't have to
Every
tell me how
player-
recent it is, but would we know the answers?
Yes.
Okay, that's all you got to tell me.
Every player has played in the 21st century.
Perfect.
And that's the
Okay,
most.
perfect.
Boo.
Back when the Niners were winning a Super Bowl, I don't know who played for the Steelers.
All right, Gary, this is your first question. We have 6 total players that can be named. So 6 points can be picked up. Gary and Toddy have 12. Kevin has 6. So if Kevin can pick up all the points and tie it, we'll have to send it to a sudden death for the season 2 belt. That's a long shot though, because then everyone else has to get everything wrong. So
I didn't believe
Kevin,
it, Tim.
start crossing your fingers. Anything is possible. But Gary, here is your first question, and we're naming players. You get one guess. This player was on the cover of Madden 19.
Is
Toddy,
there a specific order we're going in? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
So it's gonna go to you next, Kevin, after Gary. And but Toddy raised his finger first for the steal. If Gary can't get it, Gary, you have about 10
19.
seconds. This player was on the cover of Madden 19.
Oh my god, I don't even want to play man like that, bro.
I know this answer.
It's not big. I know it's not Big Ben for sure. That's gonna be too old. Antonio Brown?
I need a
Antonio Brown.
Answer.
I'll go Antonio Brown. I don't think he will.
Antonio Brown is your final answer?
Yeah.
He's
a Legends edition.
That is a video game.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. Antonio Brown was on the cover of Madden 19.
It's Shaun. I was about to say.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think they'd be putting wide receivers on her
I
that
didn't
much.
think they put AB on the cover. I was like, there's no way they put AB on the cover. But this is Steelers AB, so you never know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Gary gets the point there.
Crazy.
And so Gary gets the point. He now has 13. Toddy has 12. Kevin has 6. 5 questions to go. Kevin, this next one is to you. Then we'll get to Toddy. So, Kevin, your question is, before Mahomes, this player was the star of Old Spice commercials. Toddy, I saw you for the steal.
Wow.
The shampoo was not Old Spice.
I'm hella weak, Kev.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw a commercial, but that's the shampoo with Troy. Fuck. Before Mahomes, this player was the star of Old Spice.
I think Shaun, man, he meant to put, what do you call it? Head and shoulders.
Did you mean to put Head and Shoulders?
Yeah, he did. He did. But Mahomes isn't Mahomes is not part of Old Spice, brother.
Yes.
I was going to tell you that.
The answer is Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Even Garrett, I was going to start laughing. I was like, yes.
I'm like,
Trick question.
I deserve boost. I deserve boost.
You just said
that. Kevin gets 2 points for knowing the question. You know the answer.
No,
me, I already said it. I was like,
Gary was like, you
I read it.
The crazy part is I looked it up earlier, and I literally looked up.
It's about hair, man. It's about their hair.
There they are with their. Yeah, there they are.
I think
Mahomes. I literally looked this up earlier, and I don't know what I saw, but I thought I saw Old Spice. So that's on me.
Is in like I think Patrick Mahomes' hair or something, like the opposite or something.
It's head and shoulders. Yeah, it's head and shoulders, and I totally fucked that up. But I'm glad that did not deter Kevin from getting the answer. And Gary, I appreciate the honesty in helping him out there. Kevin gets the point. Shaun fucked up. We move on to the next question, as this one is for Mr. Jaevon Toddy. As Gary, you currently have 13. Toddy has 12. Kevin has 7. We got 4 possible questions to go on. Unless we have a tie at the end, we have 4 more to go. This one is for Jaevon. Jaevon, this player won Rookie of the Year and was a 6-time Pro Bowl. Kevin, I see you.
Freak.
Oh, I think I know.
All right, so I'll read the question one more time, Toddy, and then we're going to need an answer before we give Kevin a shot. This player won Rookie of the Year and was a 6-time Pro Bowler.
Is there different? Can I answer?
Wait, Kev already put his hand up.
Multiple people?
No,
yeah,
one guess.
One guess.
Oh, gosh.
One person.
Please don't take mine.
Toddy, I need an answer. What is your final answer?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct.
Ooh.
Nice job, Toddy. So Big
Damn,
Ben,
6 time? I thought my guy got more than that. I'm not going.
I was gonna put a 2-time Super Bowl champion on there too, but I felt like that was too much, and so I just left it there. But good job. Everyone is 3 for 3 thus far. Got 3 more questions left in Shaun's Pop Quiz Steeler Edition. Circles back around to Garry. Garry, simply put, this player had a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Kevin,
Santonio Holmes.
Kevin, you don't know it, so you can't raise your hand.
I know. I see it. I'm reliving the moment.
Santonio Holmes.
No.
So your final answer is Santonio. Toddy, I got you for
It's not Ryan Clark. I know that.
So this player had a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Garry, what's your final answer?
I put Santonio Holmes, but I'm forgetting right now, bro. Oh my god.
Is your final answer Santonio Holmes?
Sure.
That is incorrect because Santonio Holmes plays on offense.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh my god!
Toddy put up his hand for the steal, Kevin, because you don't look like you know it. I will give Toddy.
Let me guess the name.
Okay,
I was a young bud.
Toddy. Technically, Kevin did put his hand up first, so we will give him the ability to guess.
I can see him.
He doesn't know.
Kevin's kind of trying to. Kevin's kind of cheating through the rules though, because
92.
He doesn't know.
You put the hand up. You put the hand up if you know who.
He's number 92. I can see the jersey.
That's cool, Kevin. That's cool. I need a name.
Starts with a J.
Not Jerome Bettis. That's our running back.
4, 3.
Go ahead, Toddy.
2.
Go ahead and steal it. What's his name?
James Harrison.
James.
I
envision him going to them and getting the oxygen.
I
see the whole thing.
James Harrison.
Ding, ding, ding. James Harrison.
Remember in
that boy's a dog
when they played the Cardinals?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Big old James Harrison.
That named everything but his name.
92. I can tell you when we went to school. Everything. Because I saw it, bro. As soon as I read the question,
Kevin's like, he was bald. I can tell you.
Big black dude, bald.
He played for so long. Still looks hella big.
I follow him. Hella buff.
I'm so pissed right now. I follow him too on IG, but I watch his videos all the time. He's damn near a podcaster. Hey, Kev, I'm not gonna lie. He's damn near a podcaster to me now. I watch him talk about this shit.
Garry, Santonio Holmes did score the game-winning touchdown in that same Super Bowl, but he didn't get a pick 6 because he was on offense, and that's all love.
I was thinking the dub.
Yeah.
Dub,
all right. So this next one now goes back to Kevin. Kevin, the question is: this player won Dancing with the Stars, and this is Steelers edition. So, Shaun's Pop Quiz, Steelers edition. Garry, I hope you didn't just Google it.
No, I know. I just remembered who actually was part of it.
Okay, sorry. I saw you looking down at your phone, and I got a little skeptical. Toddy, I see you for the steal. Okay, so Kevin, this player won Dancing with the Stars. Do you have a guess of a Steeler? Toddy looks confident, like he's about to win season 2.
I have no idea.
No guess at all? All right, Toddy. Who won Dancing with the Stars that was the Steelers player?
Hines Ward.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. Hines Ward. Toddy's killing it today. And actually,
we actually had a couple guys, too. We had, I think, Le'Veon Bell in it, too.
Yeah, but did he win it?
No, he didn't win it. We also had his old man Jack in there, too. What's his name?
Yeah. Wasn't Jerome Bettis in there?
Jerome Bettis in there, too. One more guy. One more guy. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, Hines Ward won it, though. So Toddy gets the point. And with that, gentlemen, we do
Terry Bradshaw was in it. Tripping. He was in it, too. That's why.
Yeah, super old man, Bradshaw. But with that, guys, Toddy officially wins season 2 of Shaun's Pop Quiz.
Now with Kev giving me his points.
Well, no. Toddy got to 15. Garry has 13. Kevin has 7. And so even if Garry gets this next question, Toddy is your winner of Shaun's Pop Quiz season 2. So now Toddy has the chip.
Just forget
Kevin
this
has
question,
the chip.
Shaun.
Garry will have to come in for guest editions like Cat.
Enjoy your bubble championship.
Steal everyone's points. Oh, wow.
From a LeBron fan.
No, right?
The last one that I have, and this one is Toddy's question, as he's stolen everyone else's. Toddy,
don't give him a chance. Give it to Garry. If he can't win.
I'm gonna need Toddy to answer this question.
I'm
Kevin,
putting
if
my
he
foot on
can't
there.
answer it, I'm gonna need you to. Because the question is, this player was picked 15th overall in 2014 out of the Ohio State.
I know exactly who this is.
Yeah, your initial
Who's in
reaction
the
really disappointed me.
15 pick in the 2014 draft?
Gary, you're gonna be kicking yourself.
Damn, is he that old?
14.
I mean,
It's not my new quarterback, is it?
I cannot.
Because I'm about to say that he old, bro. We got 10-year-old.
So,
So
Toddy, this player was picked 15th overall in the 2014 NFL draft out of the Ohio State University.
I'm giving it to Garry.
So you don't have a guess?
brother. I don't know who's from my house.
I got it.
I don't know college players. Come on,
Come on, Kevin. Come on,
Ryan
Kevin.
Shazier, isn't it?
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. Ryan Shazier.
Oh my God, he's been injured.
Tragically
he
tragically had his career ended, but
was a killer. Damn.
He went from a guy who didn't know if he could walk again to at least being able to walk again and have a bit of quality of life after what happened to him. And for as much as I'll just wrap up Shaun's pop quiz. I'm sorry, did I miss it?
No. Yeah, Toddy tried to play it off.
Okay.
He was like this. He was the OW. He was the old thing. Casual.
The last thing that I'll say about this, just in regard to
the second more Super Bowls.
I
just want to say that for y'all left.
I mean, you don't have the second most. You're tied for the most with the Patriots.
I think of Brady. That's why shit. In my head, Brady got them all.
Yeah, Brady.
in my head, that we second now.
Tom Brady 7, Steelers 6, Patriots 6. Tom Brady 7.
Yeah, I'm not gonna care. That's what I really be thinking.
So, the last thing I wanted to add is, like, I hear a lot of people talk about, like, oh my God, this player is getting $300 million. That's insane. Number one, the players are getting their cut because let's not even think about how much money the owners are making off of these leagues by owning these teams. But number two, as I've seen up close and personal by watching the Receivers series on Netflix, great series, by the way, not just because there's two 49ers on it, but as I've been watching that, I've seen just how all these football players deal with injuries and the things that they put their bodies through. And they have to live with those bodies for the rest of their lives. And so it's like, okay, people can talk about how much money these athletes make, but like they're putting their body and their quality of life on the line to be able to go make that money. And so that I had to say that because I've been seeing some blasphemous shit just about like players' contracts, and it's from like my friends that are old heads, and they're just like, this is insane. How can they make so much money? And I'm like, because they're getting their cut and then they're putting their bodies on the line. I apologize. I just wanted to use this platform to just say that real quickly. As we move on now, guys, we got one final segment before we have Gary's final send-off, and it's time for Factor Cap. Normally with Factor Cap, Kevin is the one usually moderating the segment, but this week's questions I generated, and so just to keep Kevin on his toes, I'm going to be the one running this week's segment. So here is the first Factor Cap. Almost said crap. Yeah, crap. This is the first Factor Cap question, if I can actually use my words correctly. Garry, I'm tossing it to you first because I believe Justin Fields should be the Steelers starting quarterback in 2024. Mm-hmm. Factor Cap.
I'm going to say Cap. And the reason why I want to say Cap is that I think Russell Wilson's still going to have something to give here, and that's going to make Justin Fields to be on the back burner at the moment. Do I think Justin Fields, hopefully, for us to be the best team possible, I think that the young buck will be a starting quarterback hopefully by next year. But for what we paid, what we did not pay, and what he's meant in terms of leadership, in terms of him coming in there and having a resume, I would hope that he plays good enough because he's going to start with this starting position. So in my case, if I predict that earlier, what I was going to say is we win 10 to 12 games this year, then he should be keeping pace to being the starter for the rest of the year, and he won't lose his job. So for that, I think Cap, because I don't think Justin Fields is going to get his turn just yet, just because I believe in Russell Wilson having a solid year to keep the job.
Toddy, Factor Cap. Justin Fields should be the Steelers starting quarterback in 2024.
I have a bad experience with Justin Fields. As you all know, this was my first year in fantasy. It's well documented. Went through the motions. Definitely went through the motions with Justin Fields at the helm as my starting quarterback. Wasn't pretty. It was so bad that I had to fleece Shaun for Brock Purdy. As you came up in conversation over the weekend between myself and cousin James on how I fleeced you for Brock Purdy and T. Higgins. But that's a whole nother episode.
No. You gave me T. Higgins, and it just worked out terribly. Yes, but you got Brock Purdy.
Fleeced, as some might say.
Correct. It worked out terribly for me. Like I thought I fleeced Toddy, and it flipped.
I think this is a cap. I think Russell Wilson should be the starter now. That's not to say that Russell Wilson could play like shit the first 3. If Russell Wilson's not playing well the first couple of games, you best believe Mike Tomlin isn't afraid to yank him and get somebody else in there. And it's not like Mike Tomlin had any other options last year. I mean, we've seen the likes of Duck Hodges as a quarterback. We've seen
Rudolph.
We've seen Kenny Pickett. We've seen Mason Rudolph. He doesn't really have options like that. But I think Russ should start. He didn't play his numbers we're going off stats. The stats over politics. Russell Wilson had good solid stats last year. From a stats perspective. Now, did he play well enough to get his team in winning fashion? Now that's a whole nother story. There were some other factors that played into it. You win on Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills, and then your team comes to say, "Hey, we need you to take a pay cut. If not, we're gonna bench you." And so, that's a whole nother situation with the NFLPA and how that goes against so many other regulations and violations. But I'm gonna say that this is cap. Justin Fields should not be the starting quarterback for the Steelers in 2024.
Kevin, factor cap. Justin Fields should be the starting quarterback in 2024.
Starting quarterback in 2024, I'm going to have to say this is a cap. Will he play in 2024? Yes, but will he be the starter week 1? I don't think so, just because of what we saw last time. He was out there on the field, like Toddy mentioned. I was also the VP of the fan club. I had to give Toddy or Shaun my parking pass because I was all out. I was all in, and then I was all out. So just going off of what Russ did to end the season last year, you look at him the last 6 weeks of the season, you compare his stats with guys like Patrick Mahomes, and you're like, well, this can't be because of him. But they were starting to win games when they had him playing well and things like that. So they just got to go off the way they both ended the season last year. I think it's Russ's job to lose. But once Russ goes out there, like Toddy mentioned, Russ or Tomlin's not going to sit around for a losing season. So if Russ isn't doing it, they brought in Justin Fields for a reason. I will say that.
So factor cap, Justin Fields should be the Steelers starting quarterback in 2024. I knew I would be on an island because this is a fact. Guys, the old saying used to be let Russ cook, but everyone's going to start saying Russ is cooked because he's done. Put a fork in him. He's done. It's Justin Fields' era. If they really believed in Russell Wilson, then they wouldn't have traded for Justin Fields. Niners fan. Oh, okay. Yeah. But the thing is that if they actually, but Garry, if the Steelers actually believed in Russell Wilson, then they wouldn't have needed to get the insurance that is Justin Fields.
Oh, we need insurance, man. You've seen the last couple of years, all these quarterbacks dropping like flies.
Maybe they could have kept Kenny Pickett on the roster if they believed in the
Kenny
guy that
crying.
they had. But
Kenny was pissed.
Yeah, Kenny didn't want to play backup, but apparently, I guess maybe they brought in Justin Fields because Justin Fields is ready to play backup.
For Kev now?
Is Kenny on the Eagles now, Kev?
Yeah, he sure is.
Someone got to hold the PAT ball.
two glove Kenny. But anyways, this is a fact. Justin Fields should be the Steelers starting quarterback to begin 2024. Will he? Probably not, but he will eventually become the quarterback throughout the season, and we'll see why he should have been starting day one. So
Shaun is president of the Justin Fields fan club.
This is a fact. I am the president, founding member of the Justin Fields fan club.
Garry last fall.
Garry tried to get entry. He's on a preliminary basis right now.
I don't even know entry just yet.
And by the time that you try to, the door is going to be locked shut.
Like Jamal Adams.
It's okay. He's on my squad now.
Your key card will no longer work because you didn't believe in him when you should have. But anyways, as we keep things moving here on Factor Cap, Garry, the Chiefs will be the first team in NFL history to three-peat as champions. Let me just redo that one more time just for social, just in case. The Chiefs will be the first NFL team to ever three-peat as champions. Factor Cap, Garry.
1,000% cap. Psych fact. I meant to say fact. 1,000% fact. They will three-peat. I said it last year at the end of the season when they went back-to-back. Just like the year before, I predicted they were going to go back-to-back. I predicted again. We're gonna go with the sword, y'all. We're gonna fall on the sword here. We're gonna say they're gonna three-peat, and you can go back on the list of why they're going to three-peat. They still got the best player, best coach. They got speed back on their team now. They got a young defense still who's killing it. They gave who went over there? I forgot the Hollywood Brown went over there, right?
Hollywood Brown.
So they got another
worthy.
Boom, boom, boom. So they upgraded the most deficiency in this lineup, which was the receiving core. They still got Mr. Taylor Swift himself, Kelsey still on the team, still doing his thing. So they got a lot of weapons and things of that nature. They own that division, and they shouldn't be scared of anybody because anyone who they thought they could beat them, they beat them. They thought Joe Burrow, nope. They thought whoever else you want to put, Eagles quarterback, Niners quarterback, whoever's quarterback you want to put, the Bills quarterback. Oh, I'm just forgetting the names now at this point because it don't matter who you put in front of Mr. the baby goat himself. He's on the way to a three-peat, and it's gonna be sad. It's going to be sad because they're going to call football boring after this year because they three-peated.
Wow. All right. Kevin, as someone who knows the feeling of losing in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, just as Toddy and I know.
I also know the feeling of winning.
Yeah, congratulations. Must be nice. So, anyways, the Chiefs will be the first NFL – I mean, I'm not even going to – Factor Cap, the Chiefs will be the first NFL team to ever three-peat as champions.
It is cap. I just don't think it's going to be possible. You know, like Patrick Mahomes said when they won their second one, a lot of luck goes into that. I don't know if they're going to run up against excuse my words, TikTok, idiotic coaching staff that doesn't know the rules. You know, you get to the big dance and you forget your ID and the hotel. You just don't do those kind of things. So I just don't think the luck's going to be on their side. Travis Kelce, we saw him start to kind of decrease towards the end of the year. So now you have that. But now they have a lot more deep threats. We might see reminiscences of when Tyreek Hill was there. So this is going to be a hard question, but I'm for sure going to have to go cap. Who is going to win, you may ask? There's a guy named Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. The list goes on and on, but led behind Kellen Moore.
Yeah,
I already got the Airbnb booked for New Orleans, baby. This is a cap. Eagles.
Toddy,
you have to mention Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP Kenny.
He doesn't travel.
Toddy, Factor Cap, the Chiefs will be the first NFL team to ever three-peat as champions.
First off, I think Gary's wearing the wrong team right now. He should be wearing red. That represents.
I'm rocking my baby goat, man.
Yeah.
I think this is a cap. It's never been done before in history. Not even the GOAT did it, Tom Brady. But I mean, it's hard to say no because the Chiefs literally got better. They got better at receiver, which was like, you could argue that they had one of the worst receiving cores in the league last year. And they won a Super Bowl. So that's pretty insane to say. I felt like their defense was a huge reason why they were able to win a lot of those playoff games late. L'Jarius Sneed, who is now a member of the Tennessee Titans, played solid defense in the Super Bowl. And obviously Chris Jones is a huge reason why Brock Purdy didn't see Brandon Ayuk running wide open in the back of the end zone. That's neither here nor there. But like Kevin already mentioned, a lot of luck goes into winning a Super Bowl. Injuries do play a part in a lot of team success. If you don't have your best players available, it's going to be hard to win week in, week out. Now, the Chiefs have the best coach and the best quarterback duo in the league, so that's going to put them above people just off the bat. Just they have Mahomes and they have Andy Reid. They have the best play caller and they have the best quarterback in the NFL. And usually on a week-to-week basis, you're going to, obviously be the favorite to win in those games. Now, a lot of injuries did happen in the AFC last year. They had some miscues happen with Buffalo in that playoff game. Obviously, no Joe Burrow, no Justin Herbert last year due to injury. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens couldn't get it done at home. And this is the first time the Chiefs were ever on the road. People were like, Chiefs have never played on the road and this, that, and that. And they end up winning however many games on the road and winning a Super Bowl. So I just think that's super tough to just do it 3 years in a row. Travis Kelce is getting older, but I still think he's probably one of the best tight ends in football. You have Patrick Mahomes, you have Hollywood Brown, Pacheco. Like, their offense is going to be their offense. They did lose. Already mentioned L'Jarius Sneed. Defense is going to be somewhat weaker, but they still have Steve Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo, sorry. Thank you.
Spagnuolo sounds like a candy bar.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Kevin did, ladies and gentlemen. But I just think that it's gonna be tough. It's tough. But if you have Mahomes versus whoever in the playoffs, it's hard to say the other quarterback's going to win. It's just hard to bet against Mahomes in the playoffs. That's
it's. I completely agree, Jaevon, because like as I've been watching this receiver series, like it's been awesome because I've seen like all the highs and lows of the 49ers season. Like watching that 3-game losing streak was tough, but every other part of it has been great. But I know how it's ultimately going to end. And I respect the greatness that is Patrick Mahomes. It makes me sick to look at him and like Travis Kelce nowadays. And I hate it because I truly appreciate the greatness that is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and that entire Chiefs dynasty that they built. But the fact that they have given my team not one but 2 Super Bowl losses within the last 5 years, oh my God.
And Jimmy Garoppolo was one of those quarterbacks.
Can you mention who your team is again for the audio-only listeners that may not be known?
Yeah, it's the San Francisco 49ers, who have lost 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime, even though they won 5 before Toddy and I were born. Thank you, Kevin.
It's hard to bet against
important. You seen your team win a Super Bowl, yeah?
Yep.
How was that feeling? Seeing the confetti come down to your team's color.
I was a young bug, but I was a pretty happy young bug. Let's just say that.
Hey, man.
The thing that I kept telling myself after the 49ers lost this most recent Super Bowl is, since I'm chasing a sports media career, is I was justifying it by telling myself, you know what? They lost this Super Bowl because when they finally do win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, I'm going to be there covering it. That's how I justified it. I don't know if that's true, but
yes, sir.
That's the hope that I'm going to hold on to, at least.
Hopefully you're there when I lose again.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough looking at the Chiefs in the same way that, and I gotta briefly touch on this because we didn't have this as a topic, but I think it should be mentioned real quickly, kind of as we're talking about teams that make me sick. Because in addition to the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens used to make me sick for a very long time, and it had to do with the 2013 Super Bowl. And a big player in that game was Jacoby Jones, who he ran the touchdown back to start the second half. That basically put the nail in the 49ers coffin until there was a random-ass blackout, and there was a 30-minute delay. Then Cap ends up leading a comeback that falls just short. But Jacoby Jones, whether if it was him on the Ravens or him on the Broncos or the Texans, he certainly made his mark in the NFL. And I think the distinction of the greatest returner of all time probably goes to a Devin Hester, but Jacoby Jones was right up there. And so, Toddy, as a fellow 49ers fan that went through the pain that Jacoby Jones brought upon us in that Super Bowl, just what are your thoughts on his life? Because for those who don't know, Jacoby Jones passed away this past week. I think he was only like 40 years old, which is very sad. And so, Toddy, just what was your reaction to that news, and what did you think of the life and career of Jacoby Jones?
Yeah, I thought he had an amazing career. I vividly remember just that playoff run. I think it was when the Ravens were going up against the Broncos in Mile High. I think the game went to double overtime, if I'm not mistaken, and Jacoby Jones caught the game-winning touchdown. I was like, wow, like the Ravens might go to the Super Bowl, and then we might be able to see the Horror Bowl. I could be mixing up years, but I think that was the same Super Bowl run, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously, he had the insane kickoff return, which kind of I thought the game was over after that because I was like, they just scored on the kickoff return coming out of halftime, and we don't got a chance. I thought he was a pivotal piece for the Ravens winning that Super Bowl. Was a great player on other teams. I'm not sure if he classifies as a Hall of Famer. I don't know if his numbers are there. But I thought that he was an electric player whenever he was on the field for sure. And it's crazy because I was watching a whole like Jacoby Jones like mixtape kind of like on X a few days prior to him passing. It was like the weekend before, and I was like, dang, I remember Jacoby Jones was cold back in the day. So, and then I saw the news about him, kind of bummed me out. But praying for him and his family, and rest in peace to Jacoby Jones for sure.
Yeah, Toddy, you might have seen it on July 11th because that was his birthday, and so that was the craziest part about it was that he died like 3 days after his birthday, and so that was
Did they
definitely.
say why? I'm sorry, I missed it, guys. I'm not sure. Did they say why?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen anything either.
Yeah, I don't think that they released the cause of death yet. Garry or Kevin, did you want to share any thoughts on the passing of Jacoby Jones or the life and career that he had?
Yeah, man, just a life taken too soon, man. We have so many great memories, and it's funny that Toddy brought that up because I for sure saw that thing a couple of days before as well. So it was nice to kind of get that refresher because a lot of guys see the name Jacoby Jones, and unless you're a Niners fan that's kind of haunted by him, it's a name that kind of goes under the radar. So he definitely deserves his flowers, and unfortunately, we have to give his flowers too late. But hell of a player, hell of an impact, and like Shaun mentioned, if it wasn't for Devin Hester, he'd be 1B. But unfortunately, they can't be a 1B when there's Devin Hester at 1A.
Garry, did you have any thoughts about Jacoby Jones or any memories from his days of just absolutely wrecking your Steelers?
Oh, exactly what I was going to say. That man used to be a killer on the field, man, and he used to be an RIP to him and his condolences to his family. He used to be a straight beast. Like you mentioned, had many great moments for that Ravens team that you never wanted to spark up in any which way. He always found a way to help spark his team up. And man, no matter who's on the team of the Ravens, as a Steelers fan, I feel like it's mutual respect always because those guys go to war and battle. And so, my utmost respect, like Kev mentioned, and gone too soon, too young, man. That's sad to see. Probably just enjoying his life with his family. Probably I'm assuming retired from the NFL quite a while now, but probably enjoying the fruits of his labor and his hard work, being a Super Bowl champion, and a key factor on that championship team, like you guys mentioned, having a game-changing play that fans will mention forever. So it's hard to see one of the good guys go, but RIP, and his legacy lives on forever in NFL history as a Super Bowl champion.
Certainly. And one other thing that I wanted to add before we get Garry's closing thoughts, just for the podcast in general, is Toddy, I wanted to give my condolences to you for the loss of your friend Garrett, because I heard your shout out to him at the end of last week's podcast, and I got to know Garrett and Hunter like very briefly during my time at Sac State. I met him at a couple of parties, and I didn't really know either of them too well. But I follow Hunter on Instagram, and when I saw the post, I was at an A's game, and it just like absolutely shook me up, and I didn't even know him that well. And so when I heard that you knew him very well and that you grew up with him, my heart broke even more. And so I just wanted to give my condolences to the Brown family as well for the loss of Garrett, because man, that shit was really sad. But I was glad that you honored him in the way that you did, Jaevon.
Rest in peace, GB. We love you, boy. Nah, man, I really appreciate that. Those are my guys growing up. Still to this day, try to keep in contact with him and his family. Like they were, I mean, like I said last week, I mean, it was like a second home for me. I used to just walk into the house and they were just like, "What are we doing today?" So, yeah, it was pretty tough. I can only imagine what Lisa and Steve are going through, and Hunter as well. The only thing I could do is just pray for them and pray for their strength, and just hope everything, things will get better eventually.
Yeah, most definitely. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Garrett Brown. Rest in peace to Jacoby Jones. And Garry, I'm honestly so sorry that I'm setting you up for your final final sayonara, like on a somber note. But I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that before we got on out of here. But Garry, it's your final podcast, 104 podcasts with us. We love you, man, and you know that's never going to change. But just what's your final message for the audience?
Man, it was a tough decision, obviously, to step back out due to personal reasons. But I just wanted to say, man, I love doing this podcast with you three right here, Jaevon and Shaun. I love all the guests for all coming on, all the supporters, all the people that literally supported and watched us and tell us about our podcast when I see them in person or, on the internet or anything like that, man. This has been a long road, 104, like we celebrated our 100th episode. Doesn't happen much, guys. Doesn't much happen at all. But you guys already know it's all love here. It's always all support. I can't wait till y'all keep going with this shit and just keep taking it to the top. I can't wait till I see it with 100 on ESPN or something like that crazy. I can't wait to see it, man, to be honest with you, because I feel like we got something special here. It's a sad goodbye, to be honest with you. It was a tough decision, like I mentioned to you guys, talking to you guys before, but I got to do what's best for me in this moment. But, hey, man, I can't wait to see y'all keep doing it, keep killing it. Y'all already know it's all love, and we're all family for life, man, straight up. So let's still keep getting these, me, I'm still going to be talking shit in the group chat and things of nature when football season comes around. My Steelers, I know I don't got to win the ball, but we're going to have a good season. Kev, Shaun, you know what's happening with the Kings. We're going to light the beam this season. We're going to get it popping, man. So I appreciate you guys. And, see you guys soon. Like I mentioned, Shaun mentioned, I'm still trying to come on as a guest here and there. But, I'm going to let y'all do your Dougie for a minute and, keep pushing the lines, man. No one's going to stop us. So, straight up, it's always love. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in and keep tuning in. I'm pretty sure I already know my Uncle Manny going to keep tuning in. Family going to keep tuning in. So, we all going to keep tuning in. We'll keep supporting. So, I appreciate y'all, man. It's been fun getting to know you guys. And yeah, man, this has just been more a podcast to me, bro. It's really been like really cool and getting to me. I think I met Kev one time in person, but fuck, I know him. If I ever see him, it's gonna be like we've been knowing him for snow. You know what I'm saying? Known him so much. Vaughn, even though you live in the city, I know we still be seeing each other here and there, and can't wait to see a little baby grow up. We're gonna link up soon. Shaun, I'm gonna keep seeing you, man. We always see each other, teaching me golf and things. So it's all love and ain't nothing bad to be seen. And yeah, appreciate everyone. Like you keep showing the pictures, man. Appreciate everyone who came on, man. Really though, like this ain't something easy to do. What Kev does on a daily in terms of putting stuff out there. Shaun, you're doing the background stuff. Vaughn always coming up with all his hot takes and coming up with all the entertainment and us doing stamps and all that. It's a long process to get this thing done, and we kept to it, man. No matter every week we came on, no matter what, pretty much for this whole time, and not that many people. So I love it. You're gonna keep on loving it, and y'all keep killing it, man. Straight up.
Yes, sir. It's always love on this side. Go ahead.
Before
Kev.
we let him go, man, I just wanted to say, Garry, like I told you, there's no stats or politics without Garry. So, yeah, we might move on, and the new listeners might not know, but the core members that got us to this 100 episodes, got us to our first 150 subs, will always know us as a foursome. So don't ever think that you're not always. You're always welcome. There's always love this way. So if you ever come to Oregon, man, you got a roof to place to lay your head.
For sure, 1,000%, man. I'm gonna take you up on every offer, Kevin. Not when that's snow porn, though.
Toddy, do you want to say something real quick?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the audience gonna attack now? Yeah. Who are the TikTok followers? They're gonna come for me harder. It's so many. I remember when the whole thing kind of like started and formed. What was it? A while ago, a few summers ago, when we
2 years ago,
when we were kind of thinking about what was next. Bringing it to YouTube. I thought it was like Kevin mentioned it. There's no stats or politics without Garry. Coming over to the house for week one when the Steelers played the Niners. That was a great day.
It was.
Not only did I win money that day, but Garry, it was
We still
just
got a couple
great.
bets. Don't worry.
Just to see the look on Garry's face of what it would look like going into it. The takes, the Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo takes.
Man, you put on my bad stuff, man.
The Kenny Pickett, Daniel Jones. There's just so many things that kind of just that goes into mine, and I might be leaving some things out. So drop in the comments some of Garry's best takes, worst takes that you got in the comments. But it's end of an era, as I texted in the chat this morning. But you got to do what you got to do, and Garry, like you said, whenever you want to come on, man, we can't wait. We can't wait to have you back on, especially during football season, because it's
yes, sir.
Wait until Russell Wilson, God forbid, snaps his leg and Justin Fields comes in and throws 3 touchdowns.
Don't let's go hot. I'm on your heads.
And you know what it is, Garry? We play this year, man. Kevin loves Benjamin, so if you ever want to put some money in my
I
pocket,
seen that today.
it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It's in Pennsylvania.
We go again for sure when it gets
It's
a little
in
closer.
Pennsylvania. There we go, Shaun.
We can hopefully. I don't know if we're doing stats or politics fantasy. I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet.
We have to.
I'm still in there. I'm still in that thing, man. Come on now. So we good. We're still locked in. You already know that, man.
Awesome. Well, it's it's always love on this side, and that you're always welcome here. And I think the guys said it best. I mean, we're always going to be the core 4, and that'll remain for forever. Because this is Stats Over Politics, and I appreciate you, Garry. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Garry, you and I talk all the time off air, and so I'll save something for there. But anyways, that's gonna do it for episode number 104 of Stats Over Politics. You know what to do. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to give us a like on YouTube. It helps us a lot. And if you enjoy the podcast, hit subscribe to get notifications when we go live. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Stats Over Politics, and on X at Stats Over Politics. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on all podcast platforms. And if you're enjoying the show, give us those 5 stars. We'd really appreciate it. As you guys have been tuned in to episode 104 of Stats Over Politics, for my guys, Jaevon, Toddy, Kevin Dent, and Garry Singh, I'm your host, Shaun Holko. We will see you next week. And for one final time, Garry,
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.